Hello, 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 everybody. I have the affidavit. So let me just get it up here. And I have not read through it yet. So you guys will be reading through it with me. Let me just get set up here. I'm going to ask that you please do not share any other information that you have coming from other sources, other channels, etc. We are going to go over the affidavit of arrest. I have it all right here. It is 19 pages long. I'm going to let everybody get in here. Please hit that like button. It gets us out in the algorithm. And that way we can get started. Let me just get my screen shared here. I have the affidavit of probable cause. So this is the probable cause affidavit. 22 likes, 41 people in here. Not going to start until we get some likes there going so we can get this out into the algorithm. A lot of people have been waiting for this. I don't know how many have it, but I've got it. Welcome, everybody. Please smash that like button. Let's get this out into the algorithm so we can get going. He is due in court in less than half an hour, but we've already got the affidavit. I think I'm one of the first ones to get it. Please smash that like button. Let's get it out there, you guys, so we can start going on this. 38 likes, 52 people. Smash that like, please. And make sure when you come back after smashing that like, you hit live chat so you don't miss anything. Okay, let me just message my sister that I'm live, and then we're going to get going. "44 likes, 57 people. I got the probable cause affidavit. Come on, you guys, show some love here. Nobody has heard from Rosie. I'm hoping maybe she pops in this morning. I'm hoping everything is all right with her. Come on, you guys, 46 likes. Once we hit 50 likes, 55 likes, we got 60 people in here. We're going to start this probable cause affidavit. Come on, you guys, it's free. It's 19 pages, you guys, so we got a lot to go over. So come on, you guys, hit that like button. It's free. Let's get it out there in the algorithm so we don't got to stop and keep going over things because new people are coming in. The faster we get it out there, the faster we can start. A couple more likes, guys, and we're going to start. It's got a lot of information in here, you guys. There's some things, obviously, they're going to have to be redacted. Hello, Lion, Teresa Ann, Cleta, Courtney, Melmac, Rhonda, Marie Burks, thank you for being here. Someone has two. Thank you. Heidi, Shivani, Jill, K-Mitch, thank you for being here, K-Mitch. Kate Bell, Judy, Krista, Glamady, Alicia, Dawn, Be Kind, Cleta, Hockey Mama. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for smashing that like button. Gray Lear, Denise, DJO, Nobody Special, Lion and Lamb, Teresa Ann. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so we got the 50 likes. Please smash that like button. Okay, so let's get going on this probable cause affidavit. Like I said, it's 19 pages long. Arties, good morning. Mary Michael, good morning. I think I'm one of the first ones to get this. So let's get going on it. The below information is provided by Brett Payne, who is a duly appointed, qualified, and acting peace officer within the county of Latah State. Please don't, I'm trying to do my best with the pronunciation. Let's just get through this. State of Idaho, Brett Payne is employed by Moscow Police Department in the official capacity or position of CPL Corporal and has been a trained and qualified peace officer for approximately 4 years. CPL Payne is being assigned by members of the Idaho State Police and agents of the FBI. On November 13th at approximately 4 p.m., the Moscow Police Department, Sergeant Blaker, and I responded to 112 King Road, Moscow, Idaho, here after the King Road residence to assist with scene security and processing of a crime scene associated with 4 homicides. Upon our arrival, the Idaho State Police forensics team was on scene and was preparing to begin processing the scene. MPD Officer OFC Smith, one of the initial responding officers to the incident, advised he would walk me through the scene. Nobody special. Goodbye. How's that? I'm just done. Mods, anybody that wants to come in and be rude like nobody special, let's just delete them. Okay? Okay, OFC Smith and I entered the King Road residence through the bottom floor door on the north side of the building. Smith and I then walked upstairs to the second floor. Smith directed me down the hallway to the west bedroom on the second floor, which I later learned through Xana's driver's license and other personal belongings found in the room was Xana Kernoodle's, hereafter Kernoodle's room. Just before this room, there was a bathroom door on the south wall of the hallway. As I approached the room, I could see a body, later identified as Kernoodle's, laying on the floor. Kernoodle was deceased with wounds which appeared to have been caused by an edged weapon. Also in the room was a male, later identified as Ethan Chapin, hereafter Chapin. Chapin was also deceased with wounds later determined, autopsy report provided by Spokane. Okay, so they've redacted a whole bunch of stuff here. You're very welcome, Denise. County medical examiner, and they blocked out her name, dated December 15th, to be caused by sharp force injuries. I then followed Smith upstairs to the third floor of the residence. The third floor consisted of 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. The bedroom on the west side of the floor was later determined to be Kaylee Goncalves, hereafter Goncalves' room. I later learned from review of the officer's Noon's body camera there was a dog in the room when Moscow police initially responded. The dog belonged to Kaylee and her ex-boyfriend, Jack. I found out from my interview with Jack on November 13th that he and Kaylee shared the dog. Officer Smith then pointed out a small bathroom on the east side of the third floor. Okay, let's stop, you guys. Mods, please, if people start putting out information and everything else and whatever, I'm taking a lot of time to go through this. Please, let's just get through the arrest affidavit. I don't want to have to keep stopping. If you've already read this, please keep the comments to yourself. That's all I ask. Okay, so Officer Smith then pointed out a small bathroom on the east side of the third floor. This bathroom shared a wall with Madison Mogan's, hereafter Mogan, bedroom, which was situated on the southeast corner of the third floor. As I entered this bedroom, I could see 2 females in a single bed in the room. Both Kaylee and Madison were deceased with visible stab wounds. I also later noticed, thank you, Marie, just delete their comments, and if they do it again, just block them. I also later noticed what appeared to be a tan leather knife sheath laying on the bed next to Mogan's right side when viewed from the door. The sheath was later processed and had Kabar USMC and the United States Marine Corps Eagle Globe and Anchor insignia stamped on the outside of it. The Idaho State Lab later located a single source of male DNA suspect profile left on the button snap of the knife sheath. So that's where they're going to get their DNA. Now, I'm hoping to see that they've got other DNA, maybe from their fingernails or something. I don't know. But it seems that that's where they got the DNA. Suspect profile was on the button of this sheath. So he took the knife with him, but the case that the knife was in was left behind. What a dummy. But thank God he's not as smart as he thought. As part of the investigation, numerous interviews were conducted by Moscow Police Department officers, Idaho State Police detectives, and FBI agents. Two of the interviews included BF and DM. Both BF and DM were inside. Those are the other roommates on the bottom, inside the King Road residence at the time of the homicides, and were roommates to the victims. BF's bedroom was located on the east side of the first floor of the King Road residence. Based on numerous interviews conducted by police officers, ISP detectives, and FBI agents, as well as my review of the evidence, I have learned the following. On the evening of November 12th, Chapin and Kernodle were seen by BF at the Sigma Chi house on University of Idaho campus at 735 Nez Perce Drive from approximately 9 p.m. on November 12th to 1:45 a.m. on November 13th. BF also estimated that at approximately 1:45 a.m., Chapin and Kernodle returned to the King Road residence. BF also stated that Chapin did not live in the King Road residence, but was a guest of Kernodle. Gonclays, so Kaylee and Madison were at a local bar, the Corner Club at 202 North Main Street in Moscow. Maddie and Kaylee can be seen on video footage provided by the Corner Club between 10 p.m. on November 12th and 1:30 a.m. on November 13th. At approximately 1:30 a.m., Maddie and Kaylee can be seen on the video at a local food vendor called the Grub Truck. And they give the address in downtown Moscow. The Grub Truck live streams video from their food truck on the streaming platform Twitch, which is available for public viewing on their website. This video was captured by law enforcement. A private party, blacked out, reported that he provided a ride to Maddie and Kaylee at approximately 1:56 a.m. from downtown Moscow in front of the Grub Truck to the King Road residence. DM and BF both made statements during interviews that indicated the occupants of the King Road residence were home by 2 a.m. and asleep or at least in their rooms by approximately 4 a.m. This is with the exception of Kernodle, which is Xana, who received a DoorDash order at the residence at approximately 4 a.m. Law enforcement identified the DoorDash delivery driver who reported this information. DM stated she originally went to sleep in her bedroom on the southeast side of the second floor. DM stated she was awoken at approximately 4 a.m. by what she stated sounded like Kaylee playing with her dog in one of the upstairs bedrooms, which were located on the third floor. A short time later, DM said she heard who she thought was Kaylee say something to the effect of "there's someone here." A review of the records obtained from a forensic download of Kaylee of Xana's phone showed this could also have been Xana, as her cellular phone indicated she was likely awake and using the TikTok app at approximately 4:12 a.m. DM stated she looked out her bedroom but did not see anything when she heard the comment about someone being in the house. DM, which is Dylan, stated she opened her door a second time when she heard what she thought was crying coming from Xana's room. DM then said she heard a male voice say something to the effect of, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." At approximately 4:17 a.m., a security camera located at 1112 King Road, a residence immediately to the northwest of 1122 King Road, picked up distorted audio of what sounded like voices or a whimper, followed by a loud thud. A dog can also be heard barking numerous times starting at 4:17 a.m. The security camera is less than 50 feet from the west wall of Zaina's bedroom. Dylan stated she opened her door for the third time after she heard the crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. Dylan described the figure as 5'10" or taller male, not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. The male walked past Dylan as she stood in a frozen shock phase. The male walked towards the back sliding glass door. Dylan locked herself in her room after seeing the male. Dylan did not state that she recognized the male. This leads investigators to believe that the murderer left the scene. The combination of Dylan's statements to law enforcement, reviews of forensic downloads of records from BF and DM's phone, and video of a suspect video, as described below, leads investigators to believe the homicides occurred between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m. During the processing of the crime scene, investigators found a latent shoe print. This was located during the second processing of the crime scene by the ISP forensic team by first using a presumptive blood test and then amnino black, a protein stain that detects the presence of cellular material. The detected shoe print showed a diamond-shaped pattern similar to the pattern of a Vans type shoe sole, just outside the door of Dylan's bedroom, located on the second floor. This is consistent with Dylan's statement regarding the suspect's path of travel. Yeah, well, we didn't know that Dylan had actually seen the killer. And why didn't he kill her when she was standing there frozen, right? As part of the investigation, an extensive search, commonly referred to in law enforcement as a video canvass, was conducted in the area of the King Road residence. This video canvass was to obtain any footage from the early morning hours of November 13, 2022, in the area of the King Road residence and surrounding neighborhoods in an effort to locate the suspect or suspect's vehicle traveling to or leaving the King Road residence. Yes, so Dylan was on the second level by the sliding. No, she was not by the sliding door. She was by the stairs going up to the third floor. She was in that bedroom. So there's a bedroom to the left just before you go up the stairs to go to the third floor where Kaylee and Madison were. She was in that bedroom. This video canvas, okay. We're reading the probable cause affidavit, Whitney. Okay, so leaving the King Road residence. This video canvas resulted in a collection of numerous surveillance videos in the area from both residential and business addresses. I've reviewed numerous videos that were collected and have had conversations with other officers and detectives and FBI agents that are similarly reviewing footage that was obtained. A review of camera footage indicate that a white sedan, hereafter called the suspect vehicle 1, was observed traveling westbound in the 700 block of Indian Hills Drive in Moscow at approximately 3:26 a.m. and westbound on Steiner Avenue at Idaho State Highway 95 in Moscow at approximately 3:28 a.m. On this video, it appeared suspect vehicle 1 was not displaying a front license plate. A review of the footage from multiple videos obtained from the King Road neighborhood showed multiple sightings of suspect 1 vehicle starting at 3:29 a.m. and ending at 4:20 a.m. These sightings show suspect vehicle 1 makes an initial 3 passes by the 1122 King Road residence and then leave via Willenta Drive. Based off my experience as a patrol officer, this is a residential neighborhood with very limited number of vehicles that travel in the area during the early morning hours. Upon review of the video, there are only a few cars that enter and exit this area during this time frame. Suspect vehicle 1 can be seen entering the area a fourth time at approximately 4:04 a.m. It can be seen driving eastbound on King Road, stopping and turning in front of 500 Queen Road number 52, then driving back westbound along King Road. When suspect vehicle is in front of the King Road resident, it appears to unsuccessfully attempt to park or turn around in the road. The vehicle then continued to the intersection of Queen Road and King Road, where it can be seen completing a 3-point turn, then driving eastbound again down Queen Road. Suspect 1 vehicle is next seen departing the area of King Road residents at approximately 4:20 a.m. at a high rate of speed. Suspect 1 vehicle is next observed traveling, so I believe that he did park in that parking thing. Suspect 1 vehicle is next observed traveling westbound on Valenta Drive based on my knowledge of the area and review of camera footage in the neighborhood that does not show suspect 1 vehicle during that time frame. I believe that suspect 1 vehicle likely exited the neighborhood at Palos River Drive and Conestoga Drive. Palos River Drive is at the southern edge of Moscow and proceeds into Whitman County, Washington. Eventually, the road leads to Pullman, Washington. Pullman, Washington is approximately 10 miles from Moscow, Idaho. Both Pullman and Moscow are small college towns, and people commonly travel back and forth between them. Law enforcement officers provided the video footage of suspect 1 vehicle to forensic examiners with the Federal Bureau of Investigation that regularly utilize surveillance footage to identify the year, make, and model of an unknown vehicle that is observed by one or more cameras during the commission of a criminal offense. The forensic examiner, approximately 35 years of law enforcement experience with 12 years at the FBI. His specific training includes identifying unique characteristics of vehicles, and he uses a database that gives visual clues of vehicles across states to identify differences between vehicles. After reviewing the numerous observations of suspect vehicle 1, forensic examiner initially believed that suspect vehicle 1 was a 2011 to 2013 Hyundai Elantra. Upon further review, he indicated it could also be a 2011 to 2016 Hyundai Elantra. I have a Hyundai Elantra, so as a result, and it wasn't me, I wasn't at the scene. As a result, investigators have been reviewing information on persons in possession of a vehicle that is a 2011 to 2016 white Hyundai Elantra. Investigators were giving access to video footage at the Washington State University campus located in Pullman, Washington. A review of that video indicated that approximately 2:44 a.m. on November 13th, a white sedan, which was consistent with the description of the white Elantra known as suspect vehicle 1, was observed on WSU surveillance cameras traveling north on the southeast Nevada Street at Northeast Stadium Way. At approximately 2:53 a.m., a white sedan, which is consistent with the description of the white Elantra, known as suspect vehicle 1, was observed traveling southeast on Nevada Street in Pullman, Washington, towards SR 270. SR 270 connects Pullman, Washington to Moscow, Idaho. Hey, sister. This camera footage from Pullman, Washington was provided to the same FBI forensic examiner. The forensic examiner identified the vehicle observed in Pullman, Washington as being a 214 to 216 Hyundai Elantra. At approximately 5:25 a.m., a white sedan, which was consistent with the description of suspect vehicle 1, was observed on 5 cameras in Pullman, Washington, and on WSU campus cameras. The first camera that recorded the white sedan was located at 1300 Johnson Road in Pullman. The white sedan was observed traveling northbound on Johnson Road. Johnson Road leads directly back to the West Palos River Drive in Moscow, which intersects with Conestoga Drive. The white sedan was then observed turning north on Bishop Boulevard and northwest on SR 270. At approximately 5:27 a.m., the white Elantra was observed on cameras traveling northbound on Stadium Way at Nevada Street, Stadium Way at Grimes Way, Stadium Drive at Wilson Road, and Stadium Way at Cougar Way. So these are all, I should pull up my map. I will do that later, and we will go over it. DJ, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it very much. Kids were using my ID and I had to change it twice. Nothing wrong, just didn't want that. You're such a blessing, giving this complete info, just the facts. Thank you, DJO. I so much appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay, so this is going to show the travel. And what I can do later is pull up my mapping. And I will be able to Paloozie. Sorry, Cricket. I'm just trying to get through this, and my pronunciation may be off, but I'm trying my best. So this is going to show the white Elantra scene leaving the Washington campus, white Elantra scene returning to the campus. Arrows are camera locations and indicate vehicle directions. So it's really hard to see this, you guys, but I'm going to do my best once we get through this arrest affidavit and to be able to pinpoint just by what they've set up here with all the addresses. I'll be able to show you that on my mapping. Okay, so on November 5th, 2025, November 25th, 2022, Moscow Police Department asked area law enforcement agencies to be on the lookout for a white Hyundai Elantras in the area. On November 29th at approximately 12:28 a.m., Washington State University police officer Daniel queered white Elantras registered at Washington State University. Okay, where was I? As a result of that query, he located a 2015 white Elantra with a Pennsylvania license plate LFZ 8649. This vehicle was registered to Bryan Kohberger, Huron after calling Kohberger, residing at 1630 Northeast Valley Road, apartment 201, Pullman, Washington. 1630 Northeast Valley Road is approximately 3/4 of a mile from the intersection of Stadium Way and Cougar Way. Sorry, you guys, I had a big cough there, and you guys don't need to hear that. Okay, so thank you again, DJO, for your super chat. I really do appreciate it. Just teasing a bit. That's okay, Cricket. You're allowed. Okay. The same day at approximately 12:58 a.m., Washington State University officer Curtis Whitman was looking for a white Hyundai Elantras and located the 2015 white Hyundai Elantra at 1630 Northeast Valley Road in Pullman in the parking lot. I'm having sips of my coffee too, so please excuse me. 1630 Northeast Valley Road is an apartment complex that houses Washington State University students. Officer Whitman also ran the car and it returned to Kohberger with a Washington tag. I reviewed Kohberg's WA Washington State driver's license information and photograph. This license indicates that Kohberger reviewed Kohberg's. I think they misspelled it here. Kohberger is a white male, height is 6 foot and weighs 185 pounds. Additionally, the photograph of Kohberger shows that he has bushy eyebrows. Kohberger's physical description is consistent with the description of the male that DM Dillon saw inside the King Road residence on November 13th. Thank you, Git. Thank you so much. So, yes, like, why didn't she call 911 right away? It's weird. It's weird. Let's get into it, and maybe we'll find out about that as we read on. Further investigation included a review of law. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, that's Palouse. Okay. Latah County Sheriff's Deputy Duke's body cam and reports showed that on August 21st, 2022, Bryan Kohberger was detained as part of a traffic stop that occurred in Moscow, Idaho, by Duke. At that time, Kohberger, who was the sole occupant, was driving a white 2015 Hyundai Elantra with Pennsylvania license plate, and they give the license plate, which was set to expire on November 30th, 2022. During the stop, which was recorded via law enforcement body camera, Kohberger provided his phone number. They blacked it out. Hereafter, the 8458 phone as a cellular telephone number. Investigators conducted electronic database queries and learned that the 8458 phone number is a number issued by AT&T. On October 14, 2022, Bryan Kohberger was detained as part of a traffic stop by Washington State University police officer. Upon review of that body cam and report of the stop, Kohberger was the sole occupant and was driving a white 2015 Hyundai Elantra with Pennsylvania license plate. On November 18th, according to Washington State licensing, Kohberger registered the 2015 white Elantra with Washington. So that's why he probably changed the plates over to Washington, because they probably give him a short time to change them from Pennsylvania to Washington, because he was now residing in Washington. So Kohberger registered the 2015 Elantra with Washington and later received a Washington plate. Give me just a sec, you guys. Okay, sorry about that. Prior to this time, the 2015 white Elantra was registered in Pennsylvania, which does not require a front license plate. So that's why he changed his licensing to Washington. He had to have Washington plates because he was now residing in Washington. Pennsylvania doesn't require a front plate, where I guess Washington does. So they're saying Pennsylvania, which does not require a front license plate to be displayed. This was learned through communications with a Pennsylvania officer who is currently certified in the state of Pennsylvania. Based on my own experience and communication with Washington law enforcement, I know that Idaho and Washington require front and back license plates to be displayed. There you go. Investigators believe that Kohberger is still driving the 2015 white Elantra because his vehicle was captured on December 13th by a license plate reader in Loma, Colorado. Information provided by a query to a database. Kohberger's Elantra was then queried on December 15th by law enforcement in Hancock County, Indiana. On December 16th, 2022, at approximately 2:26 p.m., surveillance video showed Kohberger's Elantra in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. The sole occupant of the vehicle was a white male whose description was consistent with Kohberger's. Kohberger has family in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, learned through a TLO search and locate tool database. Okay, so based on information provided by the Washington State University website, Kohberger is currently a PhD student in criminology at Washington State University. Pursuant to records provided by a member of the interview panel for Pullman Police Department, we learned that Kohberger's past education included an undergraduate degrees in psychology and cloud-based forensics. These records also showed Kohberger wrote an essay where he applied for an internship with the Pullman Police Department. Oh my gosh, you guys. So he wrote an essay when he applied for an internship with the Pullman Police Department in the fall of 2022. Kohberger wrote in his essay he had interest in assisting rural law enforcement agencies with how to better collect and analyze technological technological data in public safety operations. Wow. Kohberger also posted a Reddit survey which can be found by an open source internet search. The survey asked for participants to provide information to understand how emotions and psychological traits influence decision making when committing a crime. As part of this investigation, law enforcement obtained search warrants to determine cellular devices that utilize cellular towers in close proximity to the King Road residence on November 13th, 2022, between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. After determining that Kohberger was associated to both the 215 White Elantra and the 8458 phone, investigators reviewed these search warrants returns. A query of the 8458 phone in these returns did not show the 8458 phone utilizing cellular tower resources in close proximity to the King Road residence between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. Based on my training, okay, wait. I know just need to examine. I have the volume up. Okay. Based on my training experience and conversations with law enforcement officers that specialize in the utilization of cellular phone records as part of investigations, individuals can either leave their cellular telephone at a different location before committing a crime or turn their cellular phone off prior to going to a location to commit a crime. This is done by subjects in an effort to avoid alerting law enforcement that a cellular device associated with them was in a particular area where a crime is committed. I also know that on numerous occasions, subjects will surveil an area where they intend to commit a crime prior to the date of the crime. Depending on the circumstances, this could be done a few days before or several months prior to a commission of a crime. During these types of surveillance, it is possible that an individual would not leave their cellular phone at a separate location or turn it off since they did not plan to commit the offense on that particular day. So here we go, you guys. We're going to start seeing when he was around them, when he was around that residence, etc. On December 23rd, 2022, I applied for and was granted a search warrant for historical phone records between November 12th at 12 a.m. and November 14th at 12 a.m. for the 8458 phone held by the provider of AT&T, approximately 24 hours preceding and following the times of the homicide. On December 23rd, pursuant to that search warrant, I received records for the 8458, that is Kohberger's phone, from AT&T. These records indicated that the 8458 phone is subscribed to Bryan Kohberger at an address in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania, and the account has been open since June 23rd, 2022. Again, Git, thank you so much for your donation. Much appreciated. These records also included historical cell site location information for the 8458 phone. After receiving this information, I consulted with an FBI special agent that is certified as a member of the Cellular Analyst Survey Team, CAST. Members of CAST are certified with the FBI to provide expert testimony in the field of historical CSLI and are required to pass extensive training that includes both written and practical examinations prior to being certified with CAST, as well as the completion of yearly certification requirements. Okay, let me just get back over here. Additionally, the FBI CAST SA that I consulted with has over 15 years of federal law enforcement experience, which includes 6 years with the FBI. From information provided by CAST, I was able to determine estimated locations for the 8458 phone from November 12th, 2022 to November 13th, 2022, the time period authorized by the court. Thank you, Pamela. Pamela says, crap, I'm late. Thank you for sharing. You're awesome. I watch your channel from Alabama. Thank you, thank you. And thank you for your donation. I very much appreciate it. And welcome. Okay, so on November 13th at approximately 2:42 a.m., 8458 phone was utilizing cellular resources that provide coverage to 1630 Northeast Valley Road, apartment G201, Pullman, Washington, hereafter Kohberger residence. At approximately 2:47 a.m., the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources that provide coverage southeast of the Kohberger residence, consistent with the 8458 phone leaving the Kohberger residence and traveling south through Pullman, Washington. This is consistent with the movement of the white Elantra, the Hyundai Elantra, okay? At approximately 2:47 a.m., 8458, so this is on November 13th at 2:42 a.m., 8458 phone stops reporting to the network, which is consistent with either the phone being in an area without cellular coverage, the connection to the network is disabled, such as putting the phone in airplane mode, or that the phone is turned off. The 8458 phone does not report to the network again until approximately 4:48 a.m., at which time it's utilized cellular resources that provide coverage to Idaho State 95 south of Moscow, Idaho, near Blaine, Idaho, north of Genesee, between 4:50 a.m. and 5:26 a.m. The phone utilizes cellular resources that are consistent with the 8458 phone traveling south on Idaho State 95 to Genesee, Idaho, then traveling west towards Uniontown, Idaho, then north and back into Pullman, Washington. At approximately 5:30 a.m., 8458, which is Kohberger's phone for you guys just joining us, is utilized resources that provide coverage to Pullman, Washington, and consistent with the phone traveling back to the Kohberger residence. At 8458, phone's movements are consistent with the movements of the white Elantra that is observed traveling north on Stadium Drive at approximately 5:27 a.m. Based on a review of the 8458 phone's estimated locations and travel, the 8458's phone travel is consistent with that of the white Elantra. Again, Pamela, thank you so much for your donation. It's very much appreciated. Further review indicated that Kohberger's phone utilized cellular resources on November 13, 2022, that are consistent with the 8458 phone leaving the area of the Kohberger's residence at approximately 9 a.m., traveling to Moscow. So the next morning at 9 a.m., he's traveling to Moscow. Specifically, the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources that would provide coverage to the King Road residence between 9:12 a.m. and 9:21 a.m. The 8458 phone next utilized cellular services that are consistent with the 8458 phone traveling back to the area of Kohberger's residence and arriving to that area at approximately 9:32. So the next morning after he did this, he left, he went home. He went back around 9:12 to 9:21 in the morning, and he was in the area of the King Road residence. And then back at his own home in Pullman at 9:32. Below is a description, not to scale, of the possible route taken based off cellular site locations. Now, this is what he did. And now we know here is 1122 King Road. Instead of coming out, going up and around and straight down the highway, he come out and went behind, down, around, back up and around. So that was not his car seen over at that gas station. He took the long way home. I believe that came out in one of my reads, that he took the long way home. I have to go back and check. But instead of just coming out back up to the main road here and back up and over here, he took the long way going back and around here and around, probably so he missed all these cameras from the gas stations on the major highway here. Oh my gosh, you guys, I will bring this up on my mapping when I get this all settled to show you a little better so you can see it more clearly. Denise, thank you so much for your $19.99 super chat. Denise says, thank you again for taking the time to do this for us. No problem. Okay, so like the mappings that we have seen in the beginning of the affidavit here, I will bring that up at a later date, you guys, so we can see it more clearly. I've got the roads and everything else, so I'll have to print that out so I can follow it on my map so we can see it really clear, okay? So investigators found that the 8458 phone, for those of you just joining us, that is Bryan Kohberger's phone, did connect to a cell phone tower that provides service to Moscow on November 14th, but investigators do not believe the phone was in Moscow on that date. The 8458 phone has not connected to any towers that provide service to Moscow since that date. Yeah, DJO says, K-Mitch, may be a bad time to say right now, but I can't get memberships from the About tab to allow me to join. If you go to the main page of my YouTube, there is a join button below all the videos. There's a big button there where you would usually hit subscribe. There's also a join button right there. Unless you're on an iPhone, I think there's a different way that you have to do it on an iPhone, DJO. Okay, so based on my training experience and the facts of the investigation thus far, I believe that Kohberger used the user of the 8458 phone was likely the driver of the white Elantra that is observed departing Pullman, and that this vehicle is the suspect vehicle 1. Additionally, the route of travel of the phone during the early morning hours of November 13th and the lack of the phone reporting to AT&T between 2:47 a.m. and 4:48 a.m. is consistent with the Kohberger attempting to conceal his location during the quadruple, I can't talk today, you guys, I'm so tired, homicide that occurred at the King Road residence. Thank you again, Denise, so much for your donation, your super chat. Thank you. On December 23rd, 2022, we're on page 17, you guys. There's 19 pages, so we're almost through this. On December 23rd, 2022, I was granted a search warrant for Kohberger's historical CSLI from June 23rd, 2022 to current. Okay, so they're going back to see if it's no problem, DJL. Now they're going to see, this is where I think that they then went through his phone to see if they had been following Kaylee. Have they been looking? Has he been stalking that residence? Stuff like that. That's where I think we're going to fill out here because I do think that he did. But let's read it. This is what's verified, so this is what we need to go by. So from June 23rd, 2022 to the current, prospective location information and a pen register trap and trace on the 8458 phone to aid in efforts to determine if Kohberger stalked any of the victims in this case prior to the offense, conducted surveillance on the King Road residence, or was in contact with any of the victims' associates before or after the alleged offense, any locations that may contain evidence of the murders that occurred on November 13, 2022, and the location of the white Elantra registered to Kohberger, as well as location of Kohberger. On December 23rd, pursuant to that search warrant, I received historical records for the phone from AT&T from the time the account was opened in June 2022. After consulting with CAS SA, I was able to determine estimated locations for 8458 phone from June 22 to the present, the time period authorized by the court. The records for the phone show that the phone utilizing cellular resources that provide coverage to the area of 1122 King Road on at least 12 occasions prior to the November 13th, 2022. All of these occasions, except for one, occurred in the late evening and early morning hours of the respective days. Exactly what I said, you guys. He was up behind them looking through those windows. He was stalking them. One of these occasions, on August 21st, 2022, the phone utilized cellular resources providing coverage to the King Road residents from approximately 10:34 p.m. to 11:35 p.m. At approximately 11:37 p.m. Kohberger was stopped by Luta. Hang on. Sorry, you guys. Yes, the knife sheath, the thing that the knife was carried in, was found on the bed along with Kaylee and Maddie. Okay, so on one of these occasions, this is interesting, that his phone was providing coverage to the King Road residents. He was in that area from 10:34 to 11:35. At 11:37, he was stopped by the county sheriff's deputy, Duke. As mentioned above, the phone was utilizing cellular resources consistent with the location of the traffic stop during this time, Farm Road and Pullman Highway. Further analysis of the cellular data provided showed the phone utilized cellular resources on November 13th, consistent with the phone traveling from Pullman, Washington to Lewiston, Idaho via US 195. At approximately 12:36 p.m., the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources that would provide coverage to Kate's Cup of Joe Coffee, located at 810. Okay. I got to stop here just for a minute. Is Cricket? Is that the coffee shop? Cricket, are you here? Cricket, calling Cricket. Okay, is that the coffee shop that I was looking at the garbage bins behind? Is this it here? Kate's Cup of Joe's Coffee? Cricket. I'm waiting for Cricket to give me an answer here. Located at 810 Port Drive, Clarkston, WA. No, yours is Zoe's? Okay. Surveillance, because he went to this coffee shop on November 13th. So I'm assuming that this is where he could have disposed of the weapon. Surveillance footage from the U.S. Chef store located 820 Port Drive, Clarkston, Washington, and adjacent to Kate's Cup Joe showed a white Elantra consistent with suspect's vehicle 1 drive past Kate's Cup of Joe at a time consistent with the cellular data from the 8548 phone. They messed up here. It's 8458. Oops. That's my legal background, you guys catching stuff like that. They've messed up the phone number here. It should be 8458. At approximately 12:46 a.m., here we go. 8458 phone, then which is Kohberger's phone, then utilized cellular data in the area of Albertston grocery store at 400 Bridge Street in Clarkston, Washington. Surveillance footage obtained from Albertston showed Kohberger exit the white Elantra consistent with the suspect vehicle 1 at approximately 12:49 p.m. Interior surveillance cameras showed Kohberger walk through the store, purchase unknown items at the checkout, and leave at approximately 1:04 p.m. Kohberger's possible path of travel is depicted below. Like I said, we'll have to go through all that on my maps, you guys, once we get through all of this and I bring up the maps. Additional analysis of records for the 8458 phone indicated that between approximately 5:32 p.m. and 5:36 p.m., the 8458 phone utilized cellular resources that provide coverage to Johnson, Idaho. The phone then stops reporting to the network from approximately 5:36 to 8:30 p.m. So I wonder where that is. I wonder if that's up near the other area between 2nd and 3rd Streets, Johnson, Idaho. I don't know. Because there was other areas that I was drawn to, and they're on that map. So we'd have to go and check that map. That is consistent with the 8458 phone being in the area that the 8458 phone traveled in the hours immediately following the suspected time of the homicides. On December 27th, 2022, Pennsylvania agents recovered the trash from Kohberger's family residence located in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. That evidence was sent to the Idaho State Lab for testing. On December 28th, the Idaho State, they took the garbage from outside their home. The Idaho State Lab reported that DNA profile obtained from the trash and the DNA profile obtained from the sheath identified a male as not being excluded as the biological father of a suspect profile. At least 99.9% of the male population would be expected to be excluded from the possibility of being the suspect's biological father. What? Based on the above information, I'm requesting an arrest affidavit to be issued for Bryan C. Kohberger for the burglary and 4 counts of murder of 1st degree. So there you go, you guys. There's the probable cause affidavit. So they got okay, so the DNA profile obtained from the sheath identified a male as not being excluded as the biological father of the suspect profile. So that's what they did. Whatever they got out of the trash had his father's DNA on it, and it could not be excluded as being the biological father of the suspect. So that's how they got him. That sheath that he left behind, that's what got him. So the DNA from the sheath that he left behind that was found on the bed with Maddie and Kaylee, that was matched to Bryan's father's DNA profile of the trash that they got from the residence. So they grabbed some kind of garbage. It says here that they recovered the trash from the Kohberger family residence to get some DNA. The DNA that they got off that trash could not be excluded as a match for the biological father of the suspect. So no, that does not mean that the father gave the knife. What that means is the DNA from that sheath that they found at the crime scene matched. It could not be excluded from the trash. So they got something, say a cigarette package, out of the trash from the parents' residence. Okay? When they ran the DNA on that pack of cigarettes they got from the residence, I'm just saying that hypothetically, whatever this piece of trash is that they got from his parents' residence had his father's DNA on it. So when they ran the father's DNA against the DNA that they found on the knife sheath, it was a match as to being the biological father of the suspect. So they got his father's DNA from the trash at their house, and they got Bryan's DNA on the knife sheath. Oh yeah, they probably had the garbage people when they picked up the garbage to mark that, and they probably picked it up right down the road from them. or it was an FBI agent that grabbed their garbage, one of the two. Oh, Linda, it was not. What we did learn from the affidavit is that Dylan came face to face with the killer, and he did not kill her. She took off back into her bedroom. The killer took off out the back door. No, it doesn't mean that the father gave the knife, but that's how they matched that DNA from the knife sheath to Bryan's father. And they probably only got DNA off of the garbage, and that's how they got the Bryan's father's DNA from the garbage that they picked up from their home. Now, once they got a DNA piece of evidence from something from their garbage, they probably ran that DNA and seen that it matched Bryan's father. So if they compared the DNA from Bryan that they feel that Bryan left on that knife sheath and his father's DNA, that's a biological match. So I don't know if there's going to be anything else coming out, you guys. There may be. This is the affidavit, 19 pages. It wasn't really heavily redacted. There may be this, they have called this a statement affidavit of Brett Payne. Okay, so what this affidavit gave them was, based on the above information, I'm requesting a warrant be issued for Bryan C. Kohberger. So this is the arrest warrant affidavit. I don't know if there is another one that will be coming out, but we pretty much got here what happened, what they feel happened, right? So I don't think there'd be any more, but there could very possibly be. Let me just check right now. Because he would have already gone through court, and there is nothing yet on the website. There's nothing else been uploaded to the website. So what else I do have here? Yes. It could have been anything. It's something that they took out of the garbage at Bryan's father's home. This is the notice of the hearing today, you guys. I guess we don't really need this now. I don't know if he's gone through yet. Does somebody know if he's gone through court yet? I know there's no bail. I've got that over here. Here is his arrest warrant. I was going to show you guys all this, but then I seen the affidavit was out for the arrest. So, and it was 19 pages. So I wanted to get that and show it to you. So here it is here. He's to be held with no bail. I've got this, the 4 counts of murder and the burglary. So they're saying that the probable cause to believe that the public offenses of burglary, 4 counts of murder have been committed and accusing Bryan C. Kohberger thereof, you are ordered to arrest and bring the defendant before the court on Adams Street, Moscow County of Latah, state of Idaho, or in case of my absence, the inability to act, blah, 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 blah. No bail. No bail. And I also... Yes, Cricket, we know, innocent until proven guilty. I'm just going over the probable cause to believe that. We know he's innocent until proven guilty. Here is the probable cause order. People are entitled to have their opinion as long as it's done respectfully. I don't have a problem with it. Like I'm not going to remove comments because people are saying that they believe he's guilty. He's entitled to it. Yeah, we're not posting anything here from. Okay, let me just see if I can get the court. Hang on. Okay, let me get out of this. Hang on, you guys. Let me get out of this. And let me see if I can't get the court up. Give me a second. Give me a second, you guys. Okay. I gotta get my earbuds in. Hang on, you guys. Okay, let me just rewind this a bit so you guys don't miss anything. Okay, let me present this. Okay, so this is going to be from JB Buno. Let me get the volume up. Okay, let's go.
You have no idea, and you already see some people who are
It's
casting
about to come
blame
on.
at
I
this
just
roommate.
rewound a little
Surely
bit. Here
there's going to be more out of this investigation. Surely more of this is going to come out in the hearings, in the weeks to follow here. But there's just so much more that we don't know. And just going through the first 4 pages of how much perspectives have changed from the beginning of this investigation until today, surely there's going to be more that's going to be coming out about this subject matter.
Robert, this is WFLA Now is our venture into interactive journalism. The difference between live streaming and TV, the most fundamental difference is that we can respond to people in real time. And here in the Stream Center, I have, of course, all of our comment sections right now, and they are lighting up with the same exact question. And this is why when we do this on live stream, we can respond to our audience in real time.
Brought into this of the pain and sliding glass door. The roommate locked herself in a room after seeing the mail. The roommate did not state that she recognized the mail. This leads investigators to believe that the murderer left the scene. Now, all of a sudden, you have the human emotion that is brought into this of the pain and the trauma that clearly
see you
those
guys
roommates
if I
have now
can
experienced.
find the court coverage
seeing all of
while
this.
he's in court.
So that was one huge development that we saw here is that one of the roommates actually
Just give
did
me a
make eye
second.
contact and did actually see the assailant inside of the home.
Yeah, because there's been so many questions, Robert, about the 2 surviving roommates and why those roommates were able to survive when the other 4.
Okay, hang on, you guys. Hang on. Okay, I gotta get rid of this one. Hang on. Let me bring up this one. Okay, let me just get to it here. I just had the judge. Hang on. Let me just get to the beginning of it here. Okay, there we go, you guys. Let me just get back over here now and share it. Okay, we're going to see it here.
Thank you for sharing that. Dr. John Delatoria, I've got questions for you coming up, but we're just getting word that we have that video back right now from Bryan Kohberger's hearing. Let's watch.
Okay, here we go.
Are witnesses called against you? Call witnesses on your own behalf and compel witnesses to be present and testify at the state's expense. You have the right to be represented by a lawyer. If you cannot afford one, one could be appointed to represent you based upon your financial need. You also have the right to appeal any conviction in your case. Do you understand these rights?
Yes.
I am now going to go over the criminal complaint with you. Count 1 of the criminal complaint charges you with the felony offense of burglary. It alleges that the defendant, Bryan C. Kohberger, on or about November 13th of 2022, in Latah County, state of Idaho, did unlawfully enter a residence located at 1122 King Road, Moscow, with the intent to commit the felony crime of murder, in violation of Idaho Code 18-1401 and 1403. The maximum penalty for that offense, if you plead guilty or are found guilty, is not less than 1 year in prison, no more than 10 years in prison, and or a $50,000 fine or both. Do you understand?
Yes.
Count 2 alleges that you committed the felony offense of murder in the first degree. It alleges that the defendant, Bryan C. Kohberger, on or about November 13th, 2022, in Latah County, state of Idaho, did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation, and with malice aforethought, kill and murder Madison Mogan, a human being, by stabbing Madison Mogan, from which she died, in violation of Idaho Code 18-4001, 4002, 4003, and 4004. The maximum penalty for this offense, if you were to plead guilty or be found guilty, is death or imprisonment for life. Do you understand?
Yes.
Count 3 alleges that you committed the felony offense of murder in the first degree. It alleges that the defendant, Bryan C. Kohberger, on or about...
Okay, so what they're going, I do have to stop a little bit in between, you guys, so it's fair use, but they are going through the murder charges now.
November 13th of 2022 in Latah County, state of Idaho, did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation, and with malice aforethought, kill and murder Kaylee Gonsalves, a human being, by stabbing Kaylee Gonsalves, from which she died, in violation of Idaho Code 18-4001, 4002, 4003, 4004. Again, the maximum penalty for that offense, if you plead guilty or are found guilty, is death and or...
Look at the face on him, you guys. Like I said, I do have to stop in between and give some commentary here so I can use it as fair use. But look at this. Like, look at the face on him. It's just like not a care in the world. It's like, oh my God.
Imprisonment for life. Do you understand?
Yes.
Count 4 alleges that you committed the felony offense of murder in the first degree. It alleges that the defendant, Bryan C. Kohberger, on or about November 13th of 2022 in Latah County, Idaho, did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation, and with malice aforethought, kill and murder Xana Kernodle, a human being, by stabbing Xana Kernodle, from which she died, in violation of Idaho Code 18-4001, 4002, 4003, and 4004. Again, the maximum penalty for that offense, if you plead guilty or are found guilty, is up to death and or imprisonment for life. Do you understand?
Yes.
Like, look at the face. Like, he's just reading over these documents as if he's sitting at his desk in school and like it's somebody else. He does. He looks pure evil. That is a face of pure evil.
Count 5 alleges that you committed the felony offense of murder in the first degree. It alleges that the defendant, Bryan C. Kohberger, on or about November 13th of 2022, in Latah County, state of Idaho, did willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, with premeditation, and with malice aforethought, kill and murder Ethan Chapin, a human being, by stabbing Ethan Chapin, from which he died, in violation of Idaho Codes 18-4001, 4002, 4003, and 4004. And again, the maximum penalty for this offense, if you plead guilty or are found guilty, is up to death and imprisonment for life. Do you understand?
Yes.
And Mr. Kohberger, would you like to represent yourself, hire a lawyer, or see if you qualify for court-appointed counsel?
I have court-appointed counsel.
Court has reviewed your application for attorney at public expense. I do find that you are indigent and do qualify for court-appointed counsel. I will appoint Ms. Taylor to represent you in this case. Ms. Taylor, have you had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Kohberger about speedy preliminary hearing and setting this matter?
Your Honor, I have. We would ask the court to set the status hearing in a week or two to make a final determination.
Okay. And Mr. Thompson, Ms. Jennings, are you in agreement with that?
That's fine with the state, Your Honor.
I will go ahead and set this matter for a status hearing then on the calendar on January 12th at 10 o'clock a.m. We will make sure notice is sent, and then Ms. Taylor, do you wish to argue bail at this time?
Your Honor, I would like to ask the court to consider setting a bond. Mr. Kohberger right now is on a no bond hold, but it's a limited request as I don't have enough information. We are new to the case. We haven't reviewed very much in the way of information about the case, and
So by the sounds of what she's saying there, you guys, is they are going to request a bail hearing at some point. She's saying right now she doesn't have enough information to be prepared to go through for a bail hearing. But I am pretty sure by what she just said that they are going to request a bail hearing. Right now he's being held without bond.
we have just begun our own work on the case. But we would want the court to know that Mr. Kohberger has a good family that stands behind him.
And Mr. Thompson.
You know, the state's position is that Mr. Kohberger is not entitled to bond in this case. We can take charges as is noted on the arrest warrant itself. Idaho Code 19-816, 19-2903 both specify that given the potential penalties in this case, there's no right to bail. Bennett was arrested 3,000 miles away across the country, where his family is. We ask that he remain in custody. No bail.
At this point in time, pursuant to Idaho Criminal 46B and Idaho Code 19-816 and 2903, I am going to leave the bail set of this case as no bail at this point in time until I have additional or further information at a later date and time. So with that, then Mr. Kohberger, you will be remanded in custody and remain in custody on the no bail pending further proceedings in this matter. Is there anything further in the case then for today, Mr. Thompson?
Yes, sir. The state is asking for no contact orders for various family members deceased and also for surviving roommates. I've spoken briefly with Ms. Taylor. She indicated there's no objection.
Ms. Taylor, is that correct?
That is correct, John.
So I will go ahead and issue those no contact orders. So I do have a no contact order then for the named individual of Dylan Mortensen, Bethany Funk, as well as the family members and Mr. Chapin, the family members of Ms. Kernodle, excuse me, yes, Mr. and Ms. Laramie, Mr. Mogan, Ms. Cheeley, and then a number of members of the Gonsalves family. Those specific names will certainly be provided to you, Mr. Kohberger, by way of being provided notice of these documents. You'll get a copy of these no contact orders. What you do need to be advised of, and what will be in this no contact order, is you are prohibited from having any contact with them whatsoever. You cannot contact them through third person in writing, or by any electronic means. You cannot Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, use the phone to communicate with them or otherwise.
The way he's just nodding and all this, it just disgusts me. Like, it's like he's sitting there listening to somebody else's case. Yeah, I don't understand either, Shivani, why Dylan didn't call 911 right then and there when she seen a masked man in that place, you know, dressed in black and run out the back door. Why didn't she call 911 right then? I don't know.
Any form of communication in direct or indirectly with them. You cannot engage in any conduct that would harass, stalk, threaten, use, attempt to use, or threaten to use any physical force or violence upon them, or place them in reasonable fear of bodily injury. Cannot go within or knowingly remain within 300 feet of their person or their home, workplace, or any other place where they might be. There are no exceptions to these orders, and if you do violate these orders, it is a new misdemeanor offense. It is punishable by up to a year in jail and or a $1,000 fine or both. At this point in time, due to being in the magistrate's division here, at this juncture, I am going to issue the no contact orders for a period of 2 years. And then if it needs to be modified or changed by additional judge.
Well, it will. We got a lot in here like that don't understand why she didn't call 911. I mean, I think we're going to hear that in the trial, but unless there's another affidavit that comes out or whatever, we may not know until trial. But I just find it weird because she said she came out of the room and seen him and froze. And then he was running out the back door. She ran it back into her bedroom and locked the door. Like, why wouldn't she have called 911 right then and there when she got back in her bedroom? I just don't get it. Unless she didn't have her phone and she was terrified to come back out.
And so at that time, is there anything further, Mr. Thompson?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further, Ms. Taylor?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We are adjourned.
And with that, Bryan Kohberger's first court appearance in Latah County, Idaho concludes. This guy's going to go back to jail and be held without any bails.
Okay, so there we got it, you guys. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like, we don't know the circumstances. Like, did she maybe not have her phone on her? And she seen this guy and scared the hell out of her. So she just, when she seen him running for the back slider, just went back into her room and locked herself in there scared. I don't know. But yeah, we don't know. So it's going to be interesting to, you know, see what happened, what, you know, and we probably are not going to know that, you guys, until the trial. Yeah, I can see it being in shock. Like, you know, you're standing outside your door, you know, and you see this guy all dressed in black with a mask and everything on, and him run out the back door. You run back into your bedroom. The only thing I can see is she didn't have a phone and she was too scared to come out. I don't know. But it wasn't until hours later that, you know, 911 was finally called. I don't know. It's weird. It's like, I don't know, you guys. I don't know what to think about that. Yeah, 21 years old. They're not very good at decision making. I agree. Yeah, and she did say she's seen his bushy eyebrows, so. I'm just looking through your comments, you guys. Spirit Moon. Oh, bull. Spirit Moon just called me out. She's 19. She was 20. She had her phone. I don't know. We don't know that. We can't prove that. You know what I mean? So you guys know me. I stick to the facts. I don't know. There could be many reasons why. I don't know. Could it be she was really drunk? I don't know. Yeah, he saw her and left her alive. Yeah, she did say she was hearing other things in the house. She heard one of the things that they put in there, I'm here to help you. It's just odd. No, they don't say that she's seen them. She said that she heard noises. She heard a male voice saying, don't worry, or something like that. I'm here to help you. She heard the thud and the dog and stuff like that. That was, you know, like I said, I've only gone through the affidavit once, and that was with you guys. So I'm not really, I want to go over it again. I want to go get my mapping up. You guys have already seen my mapping. I want to see where his route was. Yeah, there was something also about food being delivered. And wasn't that weird, Shivani, when I was doing that? I love you too, Spirit Moon. When I was doing that read and I was talking about the white Hyundai Elantra, I said, oh my God, one just pulled up out front, but it's a delivery guy. Remember that? And then this comes out in the affidavit that somebody ordered food for delivery. It's just weird. Like, that's something that I never would have focused on in that read, but I just find it, and I don't think that's something big in my read, but it was just odd that that happened. A white Hyundai Elantra pulled up and was delivering food to the house across the street from me. You remember? Yeah, you remember that, Cricket? It was just weird. So by the sounds of it, from what I get, you guys, because the way she described that, now, if that is all true, then that would mean that Ethan and Xana were killed first. Because when she says she sees him, she said she came face to face with him outside that door. He had to have been coming down from upstairs on the 3rd floor, because he took off out the back door. He didn't take off towards Xana and Ethan. He took off out the back slider. So if that is true and her account is true, if he didn't go upstairs and she's seen him going out that back door, that would lead me to believe that Xana and Ethan were already stabbed. And that would mean that he was coming down from the 3rd floor. Yeah, it sounds like no one in that house was asleep. It doesn't make sense, because they're saying that there's a whole bunch of police cruisers across the street from me. I forget where I was now. It seems to me that there a lot of them, or most of them, were awake until after 4. Tony Hale says, you did say that you did not feel anything from the store that had the white. Yeah, that the camera footage that they got, if you're looking at the map to the right, I guess to the east, where they say they think they caught a white Hyundai Elantra going by that gas station thing, Quick Stop, whatever it was called. That wasn't his vehicle, because that's not the way that he went by what they're showing. It was really hard to see if you guys are watching it on the screen. I'll have to go and bring my map back up where we can see on Google Earth a lot better than we can see in those pictures. I'm going to try and clear those pictures up a little bit so I can see where their markers are, so we can map it out on my actual map. I'm anxious of that one area that they had mentioned, because you guys remember on my mapping, I had brought up that over by the bar between 2nd and 3rd Street, in between the grub truck and the bar, that there was something there that was kind of drawing me. So I'm going to be anxious if he was ever caught in that area. But yeah. Brown-eyed girl says, "Hi, Will. Looking back to that justice card and hearing this is the suspect applied for internship." Yeah. There was a lot of things. There was also, what was it? One of the Punicles that had came out saying that he was back in school. Could be teaching a lecture or something like that. That also came out in the reads from a while back. If you guys haven't seen them, you will find them under the live tab. Not the video tab, the live tab on my channel. They're all there. And they were pretty much spot on. Yeah, somebody ordered food. Xana, I believe it was, ordered food around 4 a.m. Yes, it does seem like, by what has been said in the affidavit, now, if it's all true, if the way Dylan is recounting things, if it's all true, then yes, Xana and Ethan were killed first. I believe he would have went upstairs and found Maddie and Kaylee, and on his way down them stairs from the 3rd floor, because right at the bottom of the stairs coming down from the 3rd floor, that's where the bedroom door is on the 2nd floor. Not Ethan and Xana's bedroom, but the supposedly empty bedroom where Dylan had moved to on the 2nd floor, which would be right behind the living room. So her door to get into that bedroom would have been right at the bottom of the stairs leading to the 3rd floor. So if she came out of her room to see what all the commotion was, she could have came face to face with him right there. And that would explain how she's seen him run out the kitchen sliding doors. Now, if that is all true and those statements are accurate, then Xana and Ethan were stabbed first. Yeah, she heard the dog being played with, she thought, and stuff like that. And being where that bedroom is, Kaylee's bedroom would have been over top of the kitchen area, and Madison's bedroom would have been over that bedroom in the back, partially, just partially, because that 2nd floor bedroom where Dylan said she was, most of the ceiling above that room would be the 3rd floor bathroom. There would be just a small part of that, of Maddie's bedroom, that would have overhung onto her ceiling. Yeah, and him applying, he wanted to apply to the police department, or he applied for an internship with the police department. Like, oh my God. So let me just check again, you guys, to see if there are other paperwork that has come out, maybe, because I have the affidavit for the probable cause arrest. Now, is there another probable cause affidavit coming out? We don't know. He will be back in court on January 12th. I got to get that marked down here. BK back in court. So that is 10 a.m. Idaho time. Oh, shoot. Hang on a sec. So it's going to be 1 p.m. Eastern. And that is a status conference. I just got to get that written down in my book here. Yeah, Shivani, she did, if, like I said, if those are accurate accounts, she said that she heard what she thought was Kaylee playing with the dog, rustling around, the dog barking a bit. But she believes that that was Kaylee playing with the dog. Was it? Or was that the dog wrestling around because he heard something? But that dog was found in that back bedroom. January 12th, 1 p.m. Eastern. 10 a.m. Idaho time, 1 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. So we don't know, right? I'm thinking that there is still information that may be coming out, you guys. Hang on, let me just check here. We did get to see the court hearing, you guys, but they're not allowed to stream it as it's happening. So we always get it after the fact. Now, they may allow, because this went flawlessly, they may allow a pool camera in there. I do have the orders for that. Let me just bring that up for you. Hang on a sec, you guys. Let me just get the right one up here. Okay, here it is here. Hang on. Okay, let me just share this with you guys so we can go over it. Okay, so this is for the courtroom conduct. I'm not going to go through it all, you guys, because it's pretty self-explanatory. Here we go here. Pooled media seating. The representatives of the media serving as the pooled camera staff shall be seated in an area approved by the court as designated by the administrative district judge, presiding judge, the trial court administrator or bailiff, subject to a limit of 2 media members operating a pooled broadcast recording of the hearing, and 1 media member handling the pooled still photography. Okay, let's just see. Seating, entry, exit, general instructions, security, cell phones, other electronic devices, destructive. Okay, here we go. Media coverage. Okay, so as of right now, the court allows cameras in the courtroom and orders that the media coverage be pooled. Then all media shall have access to and share the video, audio, and still photographs received from the permitted cameras. Members of the media shall designate and agree on the operator of each camera permitted pursuant to ICAR 45. Allowed media representatives and their equipment will be located in an area of the courtroom designated by the administrative. The number and placement of pool cameras being used to broadcast or record the proceedings is subject to the approval of the court. Broadcast recording devices and 1 still camera are permitted inside the courtroom. Any traditional still camera shall have a silent shutter, no flashes. No movement around the courtroom will be allowed during the court proceedings. Camera and audio equipment shall not be set up nor disassembled at any time. Photography, portion of proceedings which may be televised. Photography, video, and audio is not permitted during the recess, so they can't record like sidebars or during the recesses and stuff like that. No video or still photography shall be taken of any papers, documents. Here, the photography, video, and audio is not permitted during the recess in the court proceedings. Recess means anytime the judge is not at the bench or is not on record. No electronic device shall record the audio and or video of any bench conferences like sidebars between the court and counsel, or nor any conferences between the attorney and client or among the DA or the defense attorneys. And no video or still photography shall be taken of the victims' families or defendant's family without their express permission. News, conferences, interviews, or reporting is prohibited inside the courtroom or courthouse common areas. News, conferences, interviews, or reporting in the courthouse parking lot or on the courthouse grounds is prohibited during the hours of 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Any news, conferences, interviews, or reporting from the courthouse grounds shall be done in a manner to not impede foot traffic, obstruct access to the courthouse, or interfere with the daily operations of the county. Media vehicle parking is prohibited in the upper courthouse parking lot. So it does look like they are going to be able to stream it from the courtroom. That's good. Amanda, yes. As from what I'm understanding by what I just read, like I said, I want to go over this again with a fine-tooth comb. But from what I understand, she came face to face with him just outside that second floor bedroom door, which was what we thought was an empty bedroom. Apparently Dylan was in there. So her recount and what she recalls, she said she came face to face with him right outside her bedroom door, which would be at the bottom of the stairs of the stairs going up to the third floor. So she's seen him there. She then says she sees him exit out the sliding glass doors of the kitchen. So in my opinion, Zaina and Ethan were already murdered. He then went upstairs, and I think she ran into him on his way downstairs after he had already committed the crime upstairs on the third floor also. Why he left her alive, we don't know. We don't know. Okay, Amanda, let's stop saying that she's a crappy friend, please. I've removed already one comment when you said it. Please we don't do that here. We don't know why she didn't call the cops. We don't know. We don't know why she didn't call the police. 99% of the kids always have their phone on them. She could have went into shock, anything. And we know that this is around the time of the murders, right? This is during the murders that she comes face to face with him. So it wasn't when the police were called. That's not why the police were called for an unconscious person. I don't know. We don't know, you guys. I don't want to speculate on it. Rhonda, I don't think he even realized that he left the sheath behind. She could have thought that he was a guest. Don't forget it was dark in there, Vicious Trollop. It was dark in there. So, just seeing the face like covered with bushy eyebrows, if that is true, how she recalls it, she could have went into shock. It's like, oh God, she could have said anything. She could have thought that it was one of their friends. We don't know. We probably will not know. I'm going to check again. Give me a second to see if there's anything else that's come out, and there hasn't been. We don't know. We will probably only know once the trial goes through. Cricket says she may have also thought it was a burglary. Well, I think if she only thought it was a burglary, she would have called 911. I don't know. I'm not going to speculate much more on that. All we know is she did come face to face. If what she says is true and factual, she could remember it wrong. We don't know. They don't have to put everything they have in this affidavit. All they have to do is put enough to get the warrant for arrest. Megan, I just went through it quickly, so I would have to go through it slower. I read it for the first time. I seen it for the first time, just like you guys. So I want to go through it with a fine-tooth comb and go over everything. I want to get my points down on my own map. I'll have to make another color, like, I don't know, maybe green or something to show the routes that they said and see how close. I know for my reads, when I'd gone to maps, this was 3 weeks ago when I showed you guys my maps and I said, I believe he was from the University of Washington. That ended up smack on. That's where he was from. And from that area, he lived there. So there's a lot of the read that was, spot on. I'd say 90% of it. But I do want to go through with a fine-tooth comb and see what is in that arrest affidavit. And I want to map it out, all the places that they spoke about. I want to try and get a better image of their maps that we've seen so I can map it on my map. And that way we'll be able to put it together a little bit better from what I got from my mapping, right? Oh, you're very welcome, Megan. She said that it was like a black, oh, Leanne, don't quote me, my dear. Like I said, I'll have to go over it. I can pull it back up. Hang on. I think she said like a ski mask. Okay, let me just pull it back up here and let me see. I do believe he said like a ski mask. Okay, let me get back to it here. I'm just finding it here. Okay, so the knife sheath was laying on the bed next to Mogan's right side when viewed from the door. I'm trying to find it here. There's 19 pages, you guys. Yeah, so it indicated the occupants of the King Road residence were home by 2 a.m. and asleep or at least in their rooms by approximately 4 a.m. This is with the exception of Zaina, who received a DoorDash order at the residence at approximately 4 a.m. Okay, so here it is here. Let's read through this again, you guys. Just this part here regarding Dylan. Dylan stated she originally went to sleep in her bedroom on the southeast side of the second floor. Dylan stated she was awoken at approximately 4 a.m. by what she stated sounded like Kaylee playing with her dog in one of the upstairs bedrooms, which were located on the third floor. So that was around 4 a.m. A short time later, Dylan said she heard who she thought was Kaylee say something to the effect of, "There's someone here." A review of records obtained from forensic download of Zaina's phone showed this could have also been Zaina, as her cellular phone indicated she was likely awake using the TikTok app at 4:12. So I'm assuming that could have also been her food coming. Dylan stated she looked out of her bedroom but did not see anything when she heard the comment about someone being in the house. So she opens the door. She doesn't see anybody in the house. Dylan then stated she opened her door a second time when she heard what she thought was crying coming from Zaina's bedroom. Dylan then said she heard a male's voice say something to the effect of, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." At approximately 4:17 a.m., a security camera located at 11 King Road, a residence immediately to the northwest, picked up a distorted audio of what sound like voices or a whimper followed by a thud. A dog could also be heard barking numerous times starting at 4:17 a.m. So that's around the same time that she's hearing that. The security camera is less than 50 feet from the west wall of Zaina's bedroom. DM stated she opened her door for a third time after she heard the crying and saw a figure clad in black. Okay, so no. Kaylee and Madison were killed first. And this is why. This is it here. It's the third time she opened her door. She heard crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose walking towards her. Okay, so Kaylee and Maddie were killed first. DM describes the figure as 5'10" or taller male, not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. The male walked past DM as she stood in a frozen, shocked phase. The male walked towards the back sliding glass door. DM locked herself in her room after seeing the male. DM did not state that she recognized the male. This leads investigators to believe that the murderer left the scene. Okay, so Maddie and Kaylee were killed first. Cricket, thank you. I appreciate you, Willow. I don't follow true crime or even tarot psychics, but you are a rock star in how you handle yourself in your chat. I'm only following this case because of you. Aw, thank you, Cricket. So this does say right here, the way that this is worded, yes. Because DM stated she opened her door for a third time after she heard crying and saw a figure clad in a black clothing walking towards her. So that is coming from the second floor area. So yeah, Kaylee and Maddie were killed first. What she heard upstairs was not from, she says what she thought was Kaylee playing with the dog. It wasn't. That's when they were being stabbed. So the third time she opened the door is when she heard the crying and saw a figure clad in black clothing and a mask. That's all they say is a mask that covered the person's mouth and nose. So I'm assuming that's like one of the masks that everybody's been wearing for COVID. Walking towards her. DM described the figure as 5'10" or taller, male, not very muscular, but athletically built with bushy eyebrows. The male walked past DM as she stood frozen and shock phase. The male walked towards the back sliding glass doors. DM locked herself in her room after seeing the male. DM did not state that she recognized the male. This leads investigators to believe that the murderer left the scene. So yeah, Kaylee and Maddie were killed first. Yeah, why didn't she? I don't know why she didn't call 911. I'm just looking through this to see if there's anything more. Yep. So Kaylee and Madison were killed first. So there we go. Thank you, thank you, thank you again, Cricket, so much for your super chat. I appreciate you. I was stressing out really bad last night, guys, because I was trying to get all this information together, trying to get it put together so I didn't look like I was right out of sorts, and trying to follow this plane, which if you guys were with me last night following this plane, we had a hoot. But trying to keep things verified, and so much was being said, and trying to take care of a newborn baby. My daughter was all out of sorts because she's stressed out. She's not sleeping. So it was a pretty stressful night last night, but yeah. So I got up early this morning to get all this put together for you. So I really do appreciate your super chats and supporting the channel and appreciating what I do. So thank you very much for that. Yeah, Rhonda, exactly. When she thought that she heard Kaylee playing with the dog and that, she said that, let me just see here. So she originally went to sleep in her bedroom. Okay, so approximately at 4 a.m., by what she stated, sounded like Kaylee was playing with her dog in one of the upstairs bedrooms, which was located on the 3rd floor. A very short time later, Dylan said she heard what she thought was Kaylee say something to the effect, "There's someone here." So yeah, they were upstairs. The guy was upstairs. Because then Dylan said she opened her door and didn't see nobody. So he was upstairs. That says, okay, so when she thinks that she hears Kaylee playing with the dog upstairs, but then she hears Kaylee say something to the effect that there's someone here. Dylan said she looked out her bedroom, but did not see anything when she heard the comment about somebody being in the house. She then opened her door a second time when she heard what she thought was crying coming from Zaina's bedroom. So yeah, he did go upstairs to the 3rd floor first. She then opened her door again when she heard a male voice saying something to the effect, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." And she said that sounded like it was coming from Zaina's room. And then the final time she opened the door, a couple minutes later, she opened the door again, and that's when the guy was walking towards her from Zaina's. By this, it's coming from Zaina's bedroom, walking towards her. And then he was out the door. So there's no way he walked from their bedroom towards her and then upstairs. She would have seen that. He took off out the back door. Yeah, I don't know why she didn't phone 911 either, Carol. You've asked that a couple times, and I still can't answer that. I wish I could, but I can't. And nobody is going to know the answer to that until we get to trial. And they're going to lay it all out. I'm going to check again, you guys. Give me a second. Yeah, I don't get that either, Kim. Why did he leave Dylan alive? Did he know Dylan? We don't know. Nope, there's nothing else, you guys. Okay, let me just click out of it and then go back in and let me see. Nope, there's nothing else. So far, anyway. Catnap, no, that's not the way it happened according to this affidavit. According to this affidavit, he walked towards her from that area, from Zena and Ethan's area, and out the back door he went. So there is no way that he went up the stairs. That's false. So yeah, I believe Ethan was first, then Zaina, then the girls upstairs. Dee saw him. We're not going to do any victim shaming, or even the surviving victims. We're not going to attack them. That we don't do that here. We don't do that here. Yeah, I hope that, I mean, whatever it is that happened, we will find out come trial, or if there is anything else released. There could be stuff, like I said, you guys. Yeah, Cricket, true. If she knew him. No, but all she could see was his bushy eyebrows, right? The rest of his face was covered. So maybe she didn't recognize him, or maybe he knew her, but she really didn't know him that well. I don't know. It could be anything. Yeah, it could have been shock too. I would assume she was in shock, and but I find it weird. But we were not in that position, and we don't know what else. Like I said, this affidavit, you guys, is the bare minimum. There could be a lot more. Maybe she called people, maybe she did this, maybe she did that, but it's just not in this affidavit yet. They don't have to put every single thing in the affidavit. All they have to do is put enough to get an arrest warrant. So I am sure that they have tons more. So let's not be quick to judge. And yeah, there was almost a full page redacted. So there could be stuff in there that she said. There is going to be a lot more that we don't have any clue about right now. Yeah. Gray Lear, I agree. And that's what I'm saying. If she really was that scared, like, she must not have had her cell phone. Like, these kids always have their cell phone. And maybe she had forgot it out in the living room. Maybe she forgot it in the kitchen. She grabbed something to eat. Maybe forgot it in one of the other girls' bedrooms. We don't know. I would assume, and I'm only assuming, that if she did have her phone, she would have called. Maybe she was too scared to come out to go get her phone if she didn't have her phone. That would be a viable explanation. It would be a viable, and being drinking and being out partying and stuff, like, sometimes, oh crap, I forgot my phone out in the living room. You know what I mean? You don't act the same when you're sober and when you're drunk. I always used to say to my friends when in my drinking days, don't come at sober me like I'm still drunk me, because I don't remember what drunk me said or did. Yeah, exactly, Catnap. So we don't know. The most viable explanation would be that she forgot her phone out in the living room or in the kitchen, or maybe in the other girl's bedroom downstairs before they went to bed. It could be anything. That would be the most viable explanation. But I don't know. We don't know. And we probably will not know until trial. Catnap says, well, camping, a bear come up to the tent in the middle of the night and I literally froze. Oh, yeah. It's like play dead. Fall down, play dead. Yeah, no matter what, they have the DNA. They have his DNA on that knife sheath that was left behind. Boom. They probably have other forms of DNA. I would like to hear that they have DNA from under one of the victim's fingernails, because they are pretty confident. It's 19 pages, Brown-Eyed Girl. of what they gave us. That's not the full of what they have. K. Mitch says, I thought Dylan's room was in the basement. Yeah, they mentioned it here that she had moved up to the second floor bedroom. So the reason why I think the knife sheath was dropped there is I believe one of them put up a fight and it was dropped by accident. And the sheath was later processed and had KA-BAR USMC and the United States Marine Corps Eagle Globe and anchor insignia stamped on the outside of it. Okay, that's another thing I wanted to check out. Because there was this guy, Chris, that was saying, I sold him a knife. It was a flip blade or something. Hang on, let me go and see if I can find that. Because he gives a picture of it. Let me see where that is. I think I screenshotted it, you guys. Hang on, I'm just looking for it. I can't see you guys right now. Damn it. Okay, let me see if I can't find that. Staying classy, exactly. You never know how somebody's going to react, right? Okay, so let me pull up. Hang on. I want to try and find that picture so we can see that picture. The guy said he sold him that knife. Okay. Okay, hang on, you guys. It may take me a minute, but I will find it for you. I believe... Hang on. Okay, hang on. No, it's not him. Hang on a second, you guys. I am going to find it. Don't you worry. I think this guy's the one that had it. Hang on. I'm going to go through the pictures here, you guys. I think it's here. Huh. Nope. Hang on. I'm trying to find it, you guys. I don't know. There's so many to go through, you guys. Okay, so there's some news breaking for those of you while I'm looking for this for the Lori Vallow case. Her lawyers are saying now she does not intend to use mental health as a defense. I'm looking for that photo. Hang on. Okay. Just give me a second here, you guys. I'm looking for this knife thing. Because they got a picture of it. Yeah, that's another thing. I just got a message here on Twitter when I said that he probably at one time had the drinking or drug problem. That also came out that apparently he used to have a drug problem. And he did. Okay, come on. Where is it? Oh, gosh. This is driving me crazy. Hang on. Okay, so let's go. Bryan. Okay, so oh, why is it doing that? Hang on, you guys. Okay, let me see if I can pull that up. Hang on. Okay, so there's the actual. Oh shit! Sorry, here I am thinking that I am showing you. Okay, there is the actual knife. That the sheath that was found is this part here. But what I am looking for is the guy that showed a picture of the knife that he showed. Okay, is that it? Okay, here it is. Okay, wait, I think I gotta open it first. Hang on. Okay. Okay. Let me minimize that one. Bring this one. Oops. Where the hell did I? Oh my gosh, Willow, what are you doing? Okay, I'm just gonna. Okay, so look at that knife there that's on screen right now, and I'm gonna show you. The knife that this guy said he sold him. Here it is right here. Come on. Okay, window. Here we go. Okay, so this is the knife that he said he sold him. That's not the knife. The knife that was used is curved. It has two things here, and it's not even the right color. The handle's not the same. Let me see if I can bring up the other one. Okay. So I can do a side by side. Okay, hide. Okay, just give me a second, you guys, because I'm going to try and bring these up side by side. I haven't done this before, so bear with me, please. Make this smaller. Okay, let me stop sharing this. Let me present it again. Share. Yay! Okay, so this is the knife that the guy said he sold him. The top is not the same. The handle's gray. This one is wood. This is the actual knife that was used. Okay? This is a fixed blade, yes, but this is not the knife that he sold that was used in the murders. This is the knife that was used in the murders. It's not even the right kind of case. This is not the same here. This one is curved here. It looks to be even a little bit shorter, but it's not the same knife. These knives that are from the U.S. Marine Corps are very distinctive. Okay? They will have this wooden handle, and this is the case that they found. This one is nowhere nears. Like, this says RA on it. He said, this is the picture of the knife that I sold Bryan. This says RA on it. This one it says something bar, not this. This almost looks like NBA. Something BA on this knife. Okay, where the hell did that other picture go? There it is. Okay, so let me pull this one back up. Minimize it a bit. There we go. So this one here, you guys, is totally different. Not even the same brand of knife or anything. Let me make it a bit bigger so you can see it. Not even the same brand. Yeah, here is the button that they got the DNA off of. So this is going to be the case that was left behind. They are going to be very specific because it's a U.S. Marshal knife. So they're very specific. This doesn't even have the same lettering on it. Okay? Not the same at all. Okay, so let me see. Anyway, I don't know. They're just talking in here. The Moscow Slayer. Is that ever... Oh. Anyway, you guys, you can clearly see the difference in the knife, the quality of the knife. U.S. Marine Corps are going to give you something like that. A lot of people keep them as memorabilia. Yeah, he said that he sold it for $300. Yeah, and he showed a picture of the knife. It's nowhere near. It's not even the right kind of knife. He said he flipped the knife open. Well, how can you flip a fixed blade knife open and then pay the $300 right away and took off? I don't believe anything the guy says. Standard military issue is what Carol is saying here. I don't think he'd just buy that specific sheath for it. I don't see that happening, but I guess anything's possible. Yeah, there's nothing else that's been released, you guys, so I believe that's what we're going to get. Yes, Jen, welcome to the channel. So is there anything else you guys want me to show you before we wrap this up? Like I said, where did it put it? I did make a post earlier, you guys, as to what is going to be happening next. He has done his first appearance. The lawyer is now lawyer on record. They've got to do that. Next is going to be either a preliminary hearing or a grand jury indictment, depending on which way the DA's office decides to go. After that will be an arraignment. So, and then on and on. I did make a community post about it there. So we're still a long ways out, you guys. There's still probably going to be a lot more information. I do believe that he is not going to waive his right to a speedy trial. He's going to want to get this going as soon as possible, which gives the police and law enforcement less time to gather even more evidence. That's what I think he's going to do. Now, that's just my opinion, but I do feel like he's going to want to get this into trial ASAP. And by doing that, they're not going to have a chance to gather more information. I do have, let me just see here. I got this one, you guys, that I can show you. And I've got another one here. Where is it? And this one here. Okay. So I'll show you guys this before I take off. His team did hire, this is the lawyer. She was at the residence with the private investigators. This is one of the private investigators here that was going, that was going through 1122 King Street. This is a private investigator that Bryan Kohberger's team has hired, and this is his lawyer. She was also at, I don't know what she's got in her hand there. Oh, that's a phone. She was going through the scene and whatnot also with the private investigator. So that is the private investigator and stuff. I have a lot more, you guys. It's just I want to get it together in a proper live. Yeah, staying classy. I get it. Like, it's a scary world that we live in today's society. I remember back in the day when I was a kid, we never locked our doors. Mind you, I'm almost 60 years old, but I lived in a huge city. Hamilton, Ontario, Canada is where I was born and raised. And today, there is no way. You got 2, 3, 4 locks on your doors now in Hamilton. It has gotten really, really bad. It's gotten worse than a bigger city like Toronto. It's gotten worse. It's gotten to the point where, you know, even if I thought about ever moving back to my home city, I never would. Just for the fact that how dangerous the city is now. So yeah, he followed them around. I think there's gonna be more about that coming out. I know they can't talk much more. There's a gag order that's been put on that they can't discuss anything more. They can't answer questions. unless it's something that's already been put out. So I do believe that they are going to find that their phones were in the same areas several times. We do see by the affidavit that he was in that area quite a few times leading up to the murders. And that also come up out in my read that he was watching her. He was obsessed. So with that being said, you guys, I'm going to wrap things up. Thank you, everybody who sent in a super chat, super sticker. I appreciate you very, very much. It helps keep the channel going and helps support. Mods, thank you so much for always being here and keeping things classy and on track. You guys are awesome. And thank you to all of you for being here. I really do appreciate you. And keep an eye on my community tab. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And to let you know, this will probably be private for about 20 minutes or so until it's uploaded from StreamYards to YouTube's. I got to get all the information put in there and that. So it'll be about 40 minutes before it's up again public. Okay. It will be up again public. No worries. So with that, you guys, thank you, Leanne. I appreciate you too, my dear. So with that being said, please take care of yourselves. Be aware of your surroundings. Lock your doors. You hear anything, 911 is there for a reason. Don't be afraid to use it. The worst scenario is it was a neighbor. Your safety is worth more than not calling. So with that being said, you guys, I love you guys to the moon and back. Please take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. I will see you guys again soon. Bye-bye for now. Thank you, Cricket.